action, or I'm sorry, yes, item 2.3, or took action to dismiss a permanent employee, also a 5-0 vote. All right, then I am going to announce our meeting protocols for this evening. It's a good opportunity to test out my microphone here. So the Board of Trustees encourages public participation during the meeting and requests civility and the use of courteous language. The board does not condone the use of profanity, vulgar language, gestures, or other inappropriate behavior, including personal attacks or threats directed towards any meeting participant and or district employee. There will be an opportunity to speak to the Board of Trustees on items not on the agenda during the public comment item 4.5, as well as opportunities to speak on each item on the agenda when that item comes up for consideration. In the interest of facilitating the conduct of the public's business, members of the public who wish to address the board during the meeting will have specific time limits as follows. If less than 10 members of the public wish to comment on an agenda or non-agenda items, the time limit for each public comment will be 3 minutes per person. If 10 or more members of the public wish to comment on agenda or non-agenda items, the time limit for each public comment will be 1.5 minutes. A complaint about a specific employee or employees of the district should be made to that employee's immediate supervisor or the school site principal as outlined in our board policy and administrative regulations. Please complete the comment form located in the lobby and we will call on you when it is your turn to speak. The meeting is being audio and video recorded and will be archived. All right, now on to our exciting item 4.1, special recognition from Mr. AC.
Good evening. What a great night. Tonight we get the incredible opportunity to celebrate and honor the unsung heroes of our district. We get to recognize our classified employees of the year. These folks are often behind the scenes taking care of the vital day-to-day operations of our school system that without would greatly detract from the learning environment of our students. To our classified employees, we say thank you. Thank you for your dedication, for your passion, and essential contribution to the day-to-day work in our school district. As a reminder, the Classified School Employee of the Year program is a state program designed to highlight the contributions of our classified school employees who support the education of California's nearly 6 million public school students, from preschool through grade 12. From school bus drivers to cafeteria workers to instructional aides, these employees are the backbone of our school system. Our winners this evening will move on to the county and possible state levels for recognition for the work they do in our district on a day-to-day basis. So let's introduce our first classified employee of the year. From Student Data Services Coordinator of the Year, Keith Wheeler and Amy Black.
I'm honored to say a few words about someone who truly embodies what it means to be a lifelong learner and dedicated teammate, Keith. For RJUHSD staff, Keith has become a go-to expert for anything related to student data and information systems, whether it's Aries, Canvas, CalPads, Clever, digital textbooks, etc., etc. Keith not only knows it, but he is constantly learning more and sharing that knowledge to support others. What sets Keith apart in his commitment to problem solving is he doesn't just identify issues. He digs in, tests the solution, he collaborates with his teammates, and follows through until it's resolved. He's made our data more accurate, our system more efficient, and our jobs a whole lot easier. And through it all, he's never too busy to help. Whether it's training a colleague or lending a hand on a tough project, Keith always shows up with wit, compassion, and a sense of humor that makes work a better place. Keith, we're lucky to have you, and you absolutely deserve this recognition.
So much. Jacqueline Sider and Principal Ashley Sarin.
Tonight I have the incredible privilege of recognizing Miss Jackie Sider. Jackie serves as Roseville High School's College and Career Center Tech and is one of the kindest, hardest working, and skilled professionals in the work that she does. Jackie has built meaningful relationships with counselors, teachers, the community, and most importantly, our students. She collaborates with all stakeholders, providing presentations to students in the classroom, hosting college application and scholarship workshops in the College and Career Center, bringing out experts, college and military personnel, internship coordinators, and more to the school site, building relationships, and ultimately allowing our students an opportunity to find the path that will best suit them. And she does it all with tremendous humility. If you want proof of her impact, just look at the numbers. This year alone, Roseville High seniors, a class of 382 students, submitted over 1,875 scholarship applications, which is roughly 3 times as many scholarship applications as our other school sites in the district. These applications turn into Roseville High seniors receiving more scholarship money of every site year over year because of the work of Jackie and what she does in our College and Career Center. I know Jackie's proud of these numbers, and she should be, because behind each one is a student whose life is being shaped by the work that Jackie does. She's also become Roseville's unofficial event coordinator, so she puts on our High School on the Hill, our Veterans Day pancake breakfast, as well as career fairs and military academy nights. She is behind the scenes working the magic in all of those. One colleague says about Jackie that Jackie loves what she does, and you can see it. The kids love coming to her. And another says Jackie takes pride in her work and in Roseville. Ultimately, she wants Roseville High to shine. After 17 years of dedication to Roseville High School, Jackie continues to pour into our school day after day. Congratulations, Jackie. There's no one more deserving than you.
Right in the middle there. On 3, big smile. 1, 2, 3. Hold it, last one. Awesome. Thank you.
And our third classified employee of the year, groundskeeper of the year from Wood Creek High School, Jacob Kovarik and Chris McGuire.
I get to talk about Jacob Kovarik, groundskeeper at Wood Creek, and all the stuff he gets to do at Wood Creek, keeping it looking great. Not nervous. Jacob Kovarik started with the district in 2018 at Oakmont High School as a utility worker, where he quickly grew in his knowledge and was promoted to groundskeeper when we opened up West Park High School in 2020. Jacob's positive attitude has helped him build relationships with staff at each site he is with. He communicates well with coaches, admin, and myself. Jacob's current site, obviously, is Wood Creek High School, and he has done a great job maintaining the site's campus and athletic fields. Grant, our Wood Creek Athletic Director, wrote that Jacob's strong work ethic paired with his positive attitude ensures that our school environment remains welcoming, functional, and well-maintained. This year, Jacob has been keeping up on irrigation leaks that more recently have all been under concrete, which has been great. This in turn has helped Jacob expand his skills with jackhammering the concrete to find the leak, prepping the area for new concrete, and helping pour, finish, putting down new concrete to finish the repair. He continues to learn new things that help him grow in his career as a groundskeeper, such as learning new irrigation clocks, soon to be installed with the new softball fields at Wood Creek. Outside of work, Jacob spends time with his family and his newly engaged fiance. Jacob, I appreciate all the hard work you do here. Congratulations on being Employee of the Year.
Everybody? On 3, 1, 2, 3. In there. Last one.
Nutrition Service Coordinator of the Year, Sharon Breslin, Roseville High School, and Jay Brown.
It's a pleasure to be here this evening to recognize and celebrate our classified food service employee of the year, Sharon Breslin. Sharon's been a member of our team since 2007 and has worked at multiple sites in various capacities. Sharon's currently the multi-unit food service coordinator for Roseville High School, Adelante High School, and Independence High School. She leads a team of food service employees in preparing and serving over 230,000 meals a year in our district's smallest kitchen. Her organizational skills are exceptional. Sharon cares a great deal about our students. While serving lunch, she takes the time to get to learn their names, which is quite a challenge. We have a few thousand kids. Sharon assists students with dietary restrictions by acting as a liaison between her site nurse, and our office. And Sharon, being one of our senior coordinators, now offers advice and assistance to our newer coordinators to help them succeed in their job. Sharon contributes ideas to our management team, and I just want to say thank you, Sharon, for your unwavering commitment, hard work, and dedication to feeding our students. We're truly fortunate to have you.
On three, ready, 1, 2, 3. So, 1, 2, 3.
Next, Bus Driver of the Year from the Transportation Department, Ginger Miskey and Lakeith Singh.
You know, it is a proud moment for me to celebrate Ginger for becoming Employee of the Year. It is a well-deserved honor for an excellent job she has been doing since hired 8 years ago. She is one of the safest drivers we have in our transportation team. If any of your kids rides her bus, you can sleep tight. Ginger has been an amazing student. She has an amazing student management skills. She greets each student daily, and when discipline is necessary, she is fair and respectful. She keeps her bus in pristine condition, and student knows better not to leave any litter behind before to exit her bus. Ginger is very favorite among her co-workers, not only helping them in need, but also for spreading joy with her great sense of humor. Ginger is also a great communicator to add any concerns and ideas when a matter needs attention. Ginger loves cooking. She's very good at making wedding cakes. I hope I can show you some pictures. And loves spending time with her grandkids. We always feel fortunate to have her part of our transportation team. In addition to becoming a classified employee of the year, she also got promoted. She will be a school bus trainer now, training new bus drivers. So congratulations.
School Administrative Assistant of the Year from Wood Creek High School, Kelly Jones, and Principal Sue Ann Bell.
Hi everybody, I'm excited to speak tonight. I cannot think of a better person to represent the Roseville Joint Union High School District as a School Administrative Assistant of the Year than Kelly Jones. Kelly has served as the ASB Finance Administrative Assistant at Wood Creek High School for 6 years. Her work performance, school involvement, commitment, and leadership are exceptional. She is not only an employee at Wood Creek, but her own kids also graduated from Wood Creek. She's very involved with extracurricular activities, which has helped to strengthen her relationships with Wood Creek students, families, and staff. Kelly has clear communication skills, and she is organized and meticulous with job completion. She is always a team player in the office, more than willing to step in and help with anyone on any task. In fact, whenever there's a holiday or season to decorate for, Kelly is the driving force behind getting everyone in the office to decorate, which the students love. Kelly is fully committed to the students and their families, the staff, Wood Creek High School, and the district. She is passionate about education, and she cares deeply about the well-being and success of all students. A couple of years ago, she attended the Marine Corps Educator Workshop for a week. This was a full immersion experience where she got to learn about life in the military and also go through some of the physical training exercises, which was interesting, right? Since then, she has been very involved in the Wood Creek Salute to Service Club. She also recently completed her master's degree in the educational field as a school counselor, and she is excited about continuing her career as a counselor in the future. Kelly kind of does it all. She has every positive characteristic one would hope to have in a coworker. Our students and community are equally likely to work with her. Wood Creek High School is by far a better school given the dedication and overall positive attitude of Kelly Jones.
All right, big smiles. Last one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Congratulations again to all of our classified employees of the year. Our district truly would not be the same without each and every one of you doing what you do each and every day. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. If we can give them one more round of applause.
All right, thank you again for that, principals, for coming and for our amazing staff. We couldn't do it all without you, so thank you for being part of our district and coming out tonight. We will go on next to item 5.1, which is our board expectations. I'm just going to read through those real quick. Our board expectations are to prepare all students for life, college, and career, high-quality academic opportunities for all students, support student academic success, engage in partnership with families and the community. The school is a welcoming, safe environment that serves as the center of student learning, activities, athletics, and performing arts, promote a sense of community in our schools and the surrounding areas, and lastly, utilize effective governance and business practices, remain open, transparent, and accountable to the community, serve as an employer of choice with the highest quality teachers and staff. All right, then we're going to go to board reports, item 5.2, and Mr. Trustee Constant is going to start us off.
Well, thank you. Since our last board meeting, actually been busy for a change, which is good. We had a meeting with the County Committee for School District Reorganization, which I serve on. It was a subcommittee meeting. We're working to redo the bylaws of that organization and have a more streamlined and predictable process for the work that the county committee does. I had the opportunity to tour Roseville High School and Wood Creek High School. Along with me, Placer County Supervisor Board Chair Bonnie Gord joined me to see the schools that sit within her supervisory district. We had a great time going through all of the different things about the schools, and I think it was a very eye-opening experience for the supervisor. There's a lot of stuff that she just didn't know was happening in her schools. Then I had an opportunity to do the same at West Park High School with Placer County Supervisor Board Vice Chair Shanti Landon. And the last time she had been at the school, we didn't really have students there yet, so it was back in the construction time, other than a couple of ceremonial events. And I think it was also very informative for her to see what we're doing in our schools and things that our students and teachers are doing. I had the opportunity to attend the OXA Region 2 Admin of the Year Gala, where John Becker and Lisa Voss and Mike Fisher all received awards for their service. I planned on going to the Crystal Apple Awards, but unfortunately I didn't make it because I wasn't feeling well that evening. Had a great meeting with our new communications czar, Tony. Good to have a czar, welcome. And just a whole bunch of meetings with current and former school board members from our region here. Then I know a lot of people are here to share their views on an incident that occurred over a week ago at one of our schools. I'm glad you're here and I thank you for coming and sharing your views with us. I think it's important that we as a board make sure that we don't slip into a policy discussion tonight, as that hasn't been agendized, and I know many of you have heard us say this over and over when we have public comment. We don't have the ability to discuss items that are not on our agenda because of the provisions of the Brown Act. But I did want to just take this time to briefly remind everybody, all of the members of our staff, our board, the public, of the different roles we all have and the processes that we use. Many of you know we have, over 10,000 students and well over 600 teachers in our district. And our district as a whole serves about 200,000 residents. Our role as board members is clearly defined and pretty restricted. We're restricted to issues of governance. As a board, we set policies, approve budgets, set the priorities for the district, and supervise our one and only employee, the superintendent. The superintendent's role is clearly defined as well as the administration of the district. He, along with his cabinet and our school principals, many of them are here with us today, they're really responsible for the day-to-day operations of the district and our different school sites. The principal's role is huge. I started listing all of their roles, but I didn't want to take the next 40 minutes talking about all the work they do. But amongst those many roles is providing leadership, hiring and evaluating teachers and staff, overseeing operations, ensuring compliance with the myriad of laws and policies, and of course communicating with parents and students. And of course our teachers' roles is where it should be primarily. They have a lot of other roles, but primarily it's in the classroom educating our students. And I know many of you are parents here, and parents of course have a critical role in the raising and education of their children, and they're an integral part of our systems, and how we draft our policies and how we develop our curriculum. Obviously in a district this big, it's impossible for the board, the superintendent, or even a principal to know what's happening every day in every classroom with every teacher and every student. That's why as a district we rely on our teachers, parents, and students to all be our eyes on the ground and help us understand how our schools operate. Again, I'm not going to engage in any specifics, but I wanted to inform everyone here tonight that the board has adopted policies. We have literally hundreds of policies, but amongst them is a policy on civic education, which is board policy 6142.3, and a board policy specifically about controversial issues, which is board policy 6144. And then we have a myriad of other policies that guide our complaint process, the confidentiality of personnel issues, how we handle complaints and investigate personnel issues, and due process for both employees and students. As you know, we read this off at every meeting. When the board members receive complaints, we refer them to the superintendent or the school site principals, as the board members have no role in these matters. Once the superintendent completes his follow-up on an issue, the board has two distinct primary roles. They're different, they're completely separate, but there's two different roles. The first is to review what occurred in light of our policies, and to review our policies to see if any policies need to be amended, revised, or replaced, not only upon what occurred, but any new information that's developed, new perspectives that have been brought to light, or any changed circumstances. The second is to evaluate the superintendent on how well he and his administration handles the situation. So my perspective as a board member, a lot of things have happened since a particular issue happened and was brought to our attention, but we have a process in place, and the process has worked as intended, and everyone appears to be working within their defined roles as they should be. That does not mean the issue is resolved, but once it is, then we, the board, will ensure that we fulfill our obligations that we have as governing board members, and we'll make sure that we'll do that, but it's just not gonna be tonight. We cannot have that discussion tonight. So thank you for indulging me on that long set of comments.
All right, thank you. Would any trustees like to go next?
I'll talk about my couple weeks.
Okay.
I'm going to say, I first started out with a visit to Grant Bay High School, and I spent probably an hour in English 12. And sometimes I find when I just pop in for 5 or 10 minutes, you never really get a sense of what it's really like. So I appreciate Brenda Cranmer for letting me crash her class a few weeks ago, and then I got to chat with Greg Slim also. Thank you. I attended a training up at PCOE last week. I attended the Granite Bay portion of the teacher awards for the Crystal Apple awards, and then I snuck out and saw my daughter play lacrosse. So I wasn't in any of the pictures, and that's okay. And I met with Tony, which was probably one of my highlights. I appreciate getting to know you, and I was a little embarrassed that I let the new guy from the area pick the coffee place. So next time I will do it. Thank you.
Trustee Schutz.
Sure. So it's starting to be a busy time of the year for everybody. I know we got spring break, but a lot of award season, graduation's just around the corner, right? I had the opportunity to go out to Antelope High School a couple times recently. One was for the Unified Sports event. For those of you who don't know, it's when our students with special needs get out there with our other kids, and they were playing softball this time. But I learned that we rotated around different sports at different sites, so I'm looking forward to trying those out. It was a great event, well hosted. Band was out. It was really exciting time. And then last night I had the opportunity to, along with Tiffany, to go to the awards ceremony at Antelope High, and Tiffany can share more about the honor that we got to share there. But a lot of great kids, and I'm looking forward to more of those to come. Also, thanks Principal Sloan for having me out to Grand View High School, checking out your facilities, your programs, really impressive. I wanted to go there. Yeah, I was a student. It was really great. I had, over the weekend, I had an opportunity to attend an event called Strides for Strength for Mental Health Awareness Relay. It was hosted at Sierra College, and it was basically put on by an organization called Shine for Purpose, and a lot of it was to bring awareness to mental health, and I think that's so important these days. Where a lot of our students are going through a lot of challenges in different ways, and any organizations that's supporting that in our community, I'm championing that. I love that. And then just Oakmont, go Oakmont tennis. Selfishly, I'm there for my daughter playing, but it's been great spring weather. Catching some of those games and some real fun times with the co-ed season this year. So, anyways, I think that's it for me.
Okay. All right, I will jump in there really quick. I was also able to meet with the amazing Tony. Thank you. I recommended Pete's Coffee down the way. But it was great getting to know you. I'm looking forward to working with you more. And then tomorrow, I won't talk too much about this because someone's going to probably share, but I'll be over at Roseville High School for a groundbreaking ceremony. And then it is also Parent Day in Peer Helping. So Peer Helping is an amazing program over at Roseville High. My son has done it 3 semesters in a row. And so tomorrow, all of the parents get to come and meet each other and meet all of the students and see what types of things our students have been working on. So I'll be at Roseville Tiger tomorrow. And then I was also able to attend with Pete our Region 2 ASCA award ceremony, where John Becker, our superintendent, and Mike Fisher in technology, and Lisa Voss in adult education were all awarded that evening. And then the Crystal Apple Awards with Miss Coleman and a brief moment of Marla Brands. And that extra special night. I had never been to that award ceremony before, and the students nominate the teachers, and each student gets up and shares about why they love that teacher and why they nominated that teacher. So we had Jason Rawson, Brandon O'Rourke, and Jared Westford from Granite Bay High School, and I bet you have more things to share about that, so I'm gonna end it with trustee Pittman.
Okay, yes, that is what I wanted to start off with. I was so honored to go to the Crystal Apple Awards and want to also congratulate Jason Rossau, Brandon Ordo, and Jared Westberg for being recognized as teachers who have made a difference by their Granite Bay High School students. So the Crystal Apple Awards are sponsored by the Rockland, California stake of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and they celebrated these Granite Bay High School teachers as well as Rockland Unified School District teachers. The boundaries of the Rockland, California stake include just one of our schools, Granite Bay, and that is why only teachers from that school were honored that night. It's always inspiring for me to hear from students about the impact that excellent teachers have on their lives. And each teacher honored shared their genuine love of teaching, which makes clear why they are so good at it. I attended the Antelope Academic Merit Awards last night with Trustee Schutz and Superintendent Becker. Don't want to leave you out, sorry. And I was so happy to participate there. The Antelope Theater is always so welcoming. They have this lovely music going, and it's just really, really inviting. We recognized over 100 students. I did not write down the exact number for their academic achievements, and I was really amazed at their future plans after high school, including MIT, which that just seems amazing to me, and the Air Force Academy. We also, Bill and I had the pleasure, and I got this from Kim, so I would say it correctly, we had the pleasure of presenting the very first graduation awards to students who earned the RJUHSD Laureate of Scholarly Distinction. And these students achieved a 4.2 with 6 or more AP, IB, DE classes, and 2 of the 3 CASP tests with a meet or exceed score.
Wow.
And so we were able to be the honorary first members, and I thought that maybe Bill and I should also get a cord just because we did it, so.
I couldn't in good faith work on it.
That's true, that's true.
They're pretty amazing.
That's true. I wanted to highlight quickly one other event that was important to me. I recently sat down with Joyce Henry. Joyce taught at Roseville High School for, I believe, over 20 years. She retired a couple of years ago, and last fall she was my opponent for this district seat that I'm sitting in right now. I really enjoyed visiting with Joyce. She requested a meeting to share some concerns that she has from the perspective of a longtime teacher in our district. And she brought up a couple of specific items which I felt were on point. She talked about the relationship we have with our teachers and how important that is. And she also expressed a concern, and we brainstormed a little bit about how we could help our students continue to navigate the online world and what that brings into their lives. So I just really enjoyed meeting with Joyce and appreciate her time and attention to our district. Lastly, I just wanted to share a few of my personal thoughts on the issue that Pete brought up, and we'll keep it somewhat brief, for as Pete expressed, which I appreciate, our role and responsibilities as a board. I just wanted to express my appreciation for all parents who have shared feedback and have been respectfully engaged with our board. Respectful parent engagement improves our district. I appreciate the attention and leadership shown from Principal Sloan, and I'm grateful for our teacher at Granite Bay who accepted feedback and guidance as she continues to do the vital work of educating our children. Of greater concern to me is the way that we treat each other. There's no value gained in belittling our teachers or our administrators. These are our teachers and our administrators. They are part of our RJUHSD community. This doesn't mean we cannot voice concerns and seek improvement, nor does it mean that teachers have unaccountable autonomy in their classrooms and can never be asked to make adjustments. To me, this means our choice of words and actions should be rooted in treating one another with civility and dignity, especially in addressing disagreement. We've received many emails over the past week. Some have been very thoughtful in sharing their concerns. Others have been sarcastic, derisive, and assumed the worst of our teachers, our administration, and our board. I will say this comes from multiple viewpoints. There's not one side that has the corner on that market. This type of communication does not welcome true understanding and forward momentum, and it's of greater harm to our community than many other concerns. So I hope that all of us in this room tonight will make the choice through our words and our actions to act with dignity and civility, both tonight and as we move forward. Thank you.
All right, our student board rep is next, Ms. Bella.
Oh, there you go. Hi, I'm Bella Simmons. I'm the student board representative for Granite Bay High School. And Granite Bay, since last meeting, has been doing well. Juniors have finished their CASP testing, and students are starting to prepare for AP and IB tests, along with staff as well, doing review sessions and everything. Spring break is next week, woohoo! Students are so excited for break, and we're ready after working hard this past semester. We just had our annual Powder Puff game, and as a senior, I am proud to say that us seniors won. So coached the juniors, and the juniors did amazing. We were definitely all on our toes during that game. It was a super fun experience. And we also had our musical for the semester. Our performing arts program worked really hard on that, and from what I heard, I was unfortunately not able to go out and see it, but from what I heard, it was great, so good job on that. And also, congrats to the teachers that were awarded the Crystal Apple Award, Mr. Rosso, Mr. Westberg, and Mr. Delordo. I had Mr. Delordo and Mr. Westberg as teachers, and I think they definitely do deserve it, and Mr. Rosso as well. So, that's it for my update.
All right, thank you. Next, we have our superintendent and communications, item 5.4.
Great, thank you very much. Yeah, I first just want to say I had a great time at Antelope's AMAs last night. Principal Cutts and her team did an outstanding job. It was interesting to see one of the students, one of our student board members, Maya Andrade. There's been an Andrade girl on that campus since it opened in 2008. Those poor parents, that was their last AMA last night. They graduated their last student from Antelope High School, so that's just a fun fact there. But and it was nice to give out the laureate of scholarly distinction. I applaud our principals for getting together to work on that award so that we could have a consistent district recognition of these outstanding students. So thank you for that. And then to our site teams, Mr. Garabedian and his special ed staff for another outstanding unified sports event at Antelope High School last Friday. Hopefully you got to see it on the news, on Channel 3 there. But again, if you just need a taste of something positive in your life, that's the place to be. The smiles, just the activities, the connections, the relationships. It's very authentic, and it shows what happens when a bunch of really good adults in our system pull together to pull off these events. We're one of the few districts in the entire state that has it district-wide, and it does the events the way we do. And so it's well-deserved recognition for our sites when they receive that from these Special Olympics. So again, to our unified sports teams across the district, huge thanks to you. And then today, we had a K-16 collaborative joint session that was downtown Sacramento today. Dr. Karos, Principal Buljan got to attend, representing 8 counties, 12 school districts, and various community colleges. Roseville Joint Union High School District, along with our partners, Bosch and Sierra College, were center stage, really showcasing and highlighting our relationship and what we're doing with mechatronics And as it was described, in only a short year, we went from all independent organizations to a partnership. We're addressing the mechatronics and manufacturing needs here in the city of Roseville with Bosch now in our neighborhood. And to be able to secure over $2.2 million and to have mechatronics programs at Antelope and Oakmont High Schools. Truly amazing. We have become a model around the state, and from everything I heard today, Principal Boljon held court and did amazing representing not only Oakmont but RJUHSD at this event. So thank you to Principal Boljon and Dr. Karos. And then lastly, again, just with the issue of Granite Bay, Principal Sloan, Dr. Karos, Mr. Fan, Communications Director, have done a great job. We got a complaint, administration worked with the teacher, due process was done, thorough investigation was done, mechanisms have been put in place. We've met with our principals, we've discussed controversial issues. We have a training course that's there, and we'll continue to use that in terms of professional guidelines for the selection of instructional materials. We've done a lot in the last week, and Trustee Coleman hit it on the head. The relationships matter more than anything. Mistakes will happen, but relationships are so important. And the people involved in this, there's a human side to it as well, and they worked through this. They got dealt with. And we're all moving forward, and I appreciate the relationship with our teacher leadership in all of this, and we're all working together to support one another to make sure we're doing the best we can. And so I appreciate all those involved and who really have put a lot of time into this and a lot of thought into this over the past week, so I thank those folks for doing that.
Great, thank you. Moving on to 5.5, committee reports. I don't believe we had any committees meet, so we will head to 5.6, our RJUHSD report with Mr. Diller. Keep hearing your name. Tonight's award winner.
It is, I don't know if this one, yes. It's amazing how many well-placed brides can get your name out there in the world of advertising. So I wanted to start by saying I will soon be reaching out to all 5 of you. Pete, you and I have already talked. Heidi and you and I did on Zoom in a weird time of COVID. I will be taking over officially as of May 1st as the president for the RCA. And I've always felt very, very strongly that it is the actual people part that holds this whole thing together. That when you know each other, you give each other the grace to maybe misspeak or having been accused of misspeaking or having said something secondhand that someone heard and then being able to follow up on it. And so we will go to whatever coffee place you decide is the best one. I made Roseville my home for 35 years, but I'm a cheapskate, so I make my own coffee so I don't go out much. Or if we'd rather do something else for a milkshake or whatever. But I will be reaching out to you guys soon, probably over the summer, and getting a chance to actually meet and talk. And just pick brains as to where it is that you want to see in the district and where it is that we are going in the district also as the RCA. Full disclosure, as you get to know me, I was raised by a very strong-willed Republican father who basically was, and still is, and I love him to death, he's still alive. My mom just passed, but he's still alive. He was the re-elect Nixon chair for Calaveras County in 1972. And he raised me, as all parents raise their kids, to basically kind of see the world through the various eyes of the see him. But me seeing him as a young man as my superhero, the guy that was smarter than everybody else, that was stronger than everybody else as a kid growing up, I obviously, as people do, absorbed his kind of feelings and thoughts and beliefs from everything from race to religion to politics to everything else. In a very controversial time, as I was turning 9, we were leaving Saigon. We just are celebrating that anniversary right now. And there was a lot of discontent, there was a lot of anger, there was a lot of controversy in the country. In the 1968 election, it was about as bad as it could get, and then it got even a little bit worse for a while. My dad raised me to think about a lot of things, but even so, I couldn't help but hear through his own kind of prejudices. As I got older and I went to high school, I started interacting with a handful of teachers who started kind of making me see some other things also. None of them ever, looking back at it, tried to get me to see the world through their eyes, but rather just to see the world slightly different than the way I've been brought up to see it. I now understand as a teacher of 35 years, who's been doing this my entire adult life, who wanted to do this since my junior in high school, that my role is to do the same thing, And every teacher I know tries the best they can to help kids figure out their own path. Not their parents' path, not the teacher's path, not their friend's path. Bella's been in my class, you're gonna hear a handful of other students speak tonight that have come to this. And I tell them every year, I don't want you to vote like me, but I don't want you to vote like your parents either. And I don't want you to vote like your friends, and I don't want you to vote like CNN, and I don't want you to vote like Fox. I want you to vote the way you as an American citizen, weighing everything on your own merits and your own beliefs and your own feelings, decide that you should vote. And that's what we try to do. And that is a form of indoctrination. We try to indoctrinate our students to resist indoctrination, to always question authority as best you can. In the process, we want them to automatically start assuming that maybe, just maybe, what they're hearing is not 100% accurate. Be it verified on whatever TV show they tend to watch, whatever social media group they follow. Across the board, what we've been trying to do is that. However, as a teacher of 35 years, I will also say, in defense of the teacher that's being talked about tonight, that all you do as a teacher doesn't work if you can't break through to get the students' attention. And so what we end up having in the various things we put on in our classes are things that are sometimes thought-provoking. In the world of social science, we teachers are basically taught to do more or less two things. One, teach our students to question authority. Two, once they question authority, question the other thing they thought was actually true and then go after it all again and try it over and over and over again. But everything we do in our world history classes, everything we do in our AP US history classes, our US history classes, our government classes, the state standards framework basically tell us that we have to then turn around and try to connect those to current events. And occasionally you use things as a teacher to try to get kids' attention. And they may not necessarily seem great at the moment. They may have, as a second thought, kind of think, well, maybe I could have done something. In my own teaching, I know I have many, many things on my slides that the kids see that are designed to just pique their interest, to get them awake. Because if you can't get a student awake, it doesn't matter how amazing the lesson is, they're not going to learn anything. They have to get engaged, however that happens to be the case. One of the things I think is still most trying in the world that we're all trying to help these kids get ready for is a world of social media manipulation on multiple levels, and we haven't even begun to see what's going to happen with AI. It is just beginning to kind of press into the world of accusations, and I'm sure we're going to see more, with all kinds of recordings where you'll have a teacher saying X, Y, or Z that have been manipulated in such a way that it actually can be then played and then broadcast across social media. And the same thing is going to hold true for individual pictures taken out of context that are not explained as a teacher tries to do things. I'll give you one really quick explanation of how I do this, and Bella's been there, and a handful of people have been here. In my AP US history class, to kind of get kids to waken up to the visceral reality of what America was going to offer as a meritocracy, coming from a very rigid aristocracy of England, their first handful of actual assignments that they wrote are given a grade based on their last name. Aristocracy. I write in big number letters right there in the front, a grade out of 100, so they can make it easy for setting. They don't have to grab their phones out and do any kind of clicking. They can just see right there what the grade is. And the kids that I know, the kids that I have that are students of people I've taught with, possibly friends, they get 100% plus. They get extra credit right off the bat. Very first couple of assignments in class. And the students that then are in the A last name range, they will get then their actual grade of 100 or so, and then on down. One of the most amazing students I've had for a while is Miley Zhang. She got a 20% out of 100, and then a 22, and a 27 on the first 30 things she basically collected. And I let the kids just look at it for a second. And then we do the teacher thing, think, pair, share, and say, why don't you go ahead and share with somebody real quick, and just see what it is you did wrong so you can compare to see why it is that you can do it. So I try to learn from each other. Not really peer grading, but you're just looking and learning from each other. Take a look at it. And of course, Miley basically wrote a paragraph where I asked her to write a single sentence, and she had the almost kind of verbatim version of the reading. And she got a 27. And sitting right next to her was a kid who basically said, sorry, I didn't read, and they got an 85. Miley was about ready to kill me, along with a handful of other kids with the W's and the S's in their last name. Within a couple minutes, we then talk about the idea of an aristocracy and what it means to be locked into a life that you never can change, because it was all based on your last name. And what would it be like to live in a world where you couldn't change that no matter what you did? We use that as a jumping off point. But for a moment in time, I've got a handful of kids that are amazingly pissed at me. I tell my students that I have a lot of great ideas that are really, really stupid. The first time I ever tried this, I gave the kids back their actual assignment on a Friday, and I was going to tell them on a Monday. Emails came pouring in to the principal from parents who had taken pictures of my student who had the paragraph responses versus, and I learned. Part of the thing that we're all doing is trying to get better at the craft. But one of the things I also got involved in the RCA is I often saw people in leadership roles on various levels, from the district to the board, to the teachers, to the principals, to the admin, often passing judgments on each other. And it's been a hallmark of my actual leadership, because I've been in RCA since 2000. I've tried as hard as I can. And I think I can get people who know me well enough to back up. I will always try to figure out from the person what happened first. Anytime we get a complaint in the RCA from a teacher, I basically tell them, have you talked to your principal yet? It's almost always a miscommunication. One of the things I want to keep trying to make sure we do in this moment as we move into a world of social media manipulation and interrogations that happen is remind ourselves that we have to hold true to some basic things, innocent until proven guilty. We need to ask each other what was the process. At the very least, I hope we all basically respond with the idea of, let me look into it, without any other leaning toward just no, this, that, the other. Nobody did something wrong, nobody did something right, until we know. And we need to give that. Because what I know also to be true is that we don't have enough teachers coming through the system. There are not enough teachers coming in to teach our kids. And it broke my heart even the other night when my own son, who actually went to Berkeley, graduated 2 years, which I still don't understand how he did it, but he did. And he went into the military, and he's been there for 7 years. When my wife and I were talking with him on the phone about what he might like to do later, he said basically, well, I might like to teach. And my wife instantly said, why would you even want to do that now? In this world right now, where people are being vilified, why would you ever want to get into teaching? And I had to look at her and saying, let him make his, holy moly. But that's what is happening sometimes, and that's what people are feeling. I'm not accusing anybody in this room, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I hope that we always stand as the elements, the leadership that says, let me take a moment to look into it. I know this teacher we're talking about. I know exactly what she was trying to do. I know exactly how it was perceived, and I know exactly how she's going to change it next time. But what I do not want to have happen with any teacher in this district, excuse me, is to get so scared of the possible repercussions that they no longer change kids and help them figure out who they want to be. I worry about us becoming so neutral in a worry-free manner that we don't do anything anymore. I really want kids to wake up. They need to be helped. Because at the age they are beginning to disengage from their parents. But they almost instinctively know they're not ready to be on their own. In the best of worlds, this is a partnership. But it doesn't mean necessarily we all say the same things. So I hope in the midst of all of this as we go through, and I will be working with you guys for the next few years, and I really want to get to know you better, and I hope you get to know us, and through me, our own teachers in a different way, a more complete way. I have yet to come across a single solitary teacher in my 35 years in this district, twice as long as the juniors are alive in this world that I have in my class right now. I've yet to come across a teacher that has ever tried to basically brainwash or indoctrinate a kid. But I've had many, many of them be accused of it. So thank you for the chance. I will be reaching out. We'll get some coffee someplace, somewhere, sometime, and hopefully we'll have a lot more fun things to talk about than necessarily the particular issue at part tonight. Thank you.
historically is we allow our students to go first, just so that you guys can get home if you want to, and get studying and get to sleep. And I didn't say that earlier, so I might add that to our announcement and meeting protocols, is that if you do put on here that you're a student, that way we know. So I pulled out the ones that signify student, but if you didn't write that, then I'll give you a chance to still be in the front of the line, if that makes sense. So I'm going to call the first three so that you can kind of queue up. We have Jenna first, Jenna Gerard, Elisa Siddiq, and Dashka Jason.
Let's just go up from the ball and then just stand up.
So first is Jenna, and you'll come right on up to the microphone, and it looks like the green light is already on, which means you're just good to go. And then the 90-second timer will be right up here. So whenever you are ready, Jenna.
Good evening. My name is Jenna. I'm a sophomore at Granite Bay High School. I'd like to start by saying that one of the primary skills learned in high school is the ability to think outside of one's own experiences. A balanced, well-rounded worldview is one that allows a person to factor in other people's perspectives into account. Mr. Delorto has put this much better than I can. Mr. Delorto has put this much better than I can. One of the primary roles of a teacher is to influence a student into not only going based off of what their friends say, based off of what their parents say, but coming into terms with their own worldview and making decisions based off of that. So what I'd just like to say is that the staff at Granite Bay has an absolutely excellent way of doing this. All of the teachers at Granite Bay are incredibly thoughtful in both their mindsets and with their students' mindsets, and they take care to make sure that Granite Bay is a safe and healthy learning environment for everyone. As Mr. Delorto said, which he made some very good points, as Mr. Delorto said, a lot of things can very easily be misconstrued now, and many things can be easily taken out of context. And so I just want to recognize that the Granite Bay staff have an absolutely excellent way of connecting with the students and reaching them in ways that many teachers at many other schools don't. Granite Bay has an incredible quality of education, and it is in majority actually, the teachers who make it that way. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I wanted to start off by thanking Trustee Coleman and Mr. Delorto for their eloquent words. I think that they put the matters that are being discussed today much better than I could. I am currently a sophomore at Granite Bay, and one thing that I want to say is that the events of the past week have not done anything to make me less proud to be a Grizzly. The quality of education that I've gotten at Granite Bay has never been anything short of incredible, and I have my teachers to thank for the expansion that I've experienced of my own mindset when it comes to the world around me. Whether it's speech and debate expanding my ability to think about the events of the current world, or AP World History changing my perspective on the past. I think that it's the diversity of opinion that's expressed in classrooms that allows me to become a better person and a better thinker. My classes are what are preparing me for my future and allowing me to develop my own ideas and thinking skills beyond my own sphere of experience. I have nothing bad to say about any of my classes because they've truly allowed me to become a better person, a better thinker, a better student, and so much more. I genuinely feel prepared for the world that I am going to be entering as a result of the perspectives that have been expressed in all of my classes, whether or not I find myself personally agreeing with them. And it's for this reason that I want to say that I never have been and never will be ashamed to be a student of Granite Bay High School. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dakshal Gason. I'm a sophomore at Granite Bay High School, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of my teachers who have made my experience remarkable. Granite Bay High School is where I learned how to think for myself and communicate what I believe in. From Socratic seminars in English to discussing math problems with table groups, we're constantly encouraged to ask questions, speak up, and grow. In every one of my classes, I've had at least one dynamic, uncomfortable conversation that's empowered me to become engaged in my community. It's pushed me to start volunteering, get connected with the Placer County DA's office, and just start trying to get involved. Real education is analytical and honest. Granite Bay is where students find their voices, and I truly believe we need to protect that. Thank you.
So I only see one student, which is Candy Cantanella left. Were there any other students that were in here that I just missed? No? Okay. We love it when students come. That's why we love to let you go first so that you guys are encouraged to come. You can read it here. I'll bring that right on over there. There you go. All right. Oh, and then, sorry, really quick. Next, after Cami, we have Melissa. And after Melissa will be Colleen Jenkins.
Which Melissa? There are two talking.
You know what? It doesn't actually have a last name. It's just Melissa. So if there's two Melissas, let me
Is there one S or two?
two S's. Oh, it's not Melissa Gets Out.
Oh, did I not put my last name?
You can eliminate her.
They're actually sitting next to me.
Okay. So yeah,
at Granite Bay High School. I'd first like to thank Trustee Constant and Superintendent Becker for their recognitions of the issue regarding the social media attack on the staff member. Because tonight I want to recognize my school staff. They've enabled me to explore realities beyond my own. In Ivy World religions, I've come to understand the beliefs and the identities of my peers. In speech and debate, I've learned how politics can affect youth, and I've witnessed the power of civic education and engagement firsthand. All of our school's educators have consistently encouraged me to step outside of my comfort zone, engage with real-world issues, and strive to be a more compassionate and involved citizen. Their dedication has not just shaped what I know, it has shaped who I'm becoming, and I'm incredibly grateful for their influence. I hope we can continue to support educators who challenge students to continue to think beyond themselves. And I thank you for your time.
How about a perimenopausal brain moment for me? Sorry, I didn't put my last name on there. Hi, everybody. Sorry, there you go. So I have something from my daughter that I want to read, but I first want to acknowledge Trustee Coleman. Thank you for your comments. I'm a former trustee myself, and I have received plenty of the emails you described, and I totally agree with you. So I just thank you for calling that out and also recognizing the dignity of our teachers. Thank you for that. And Mr. Del Ordo, as usual, I hate following you because you're so articulate and eloquent, but I will try. I'm a proud parent of 2 Granite Bay students. My daughter is a senior. She will be attending UC San Diego as a history major this fall. And it is because of Mr. Del Ordo and the social science department at Granite Bay High School. So this is from my daughter, Molly. She is at swim practice because they have a big meet coming. I wanted to say how truly amazing the Granite Bay High School social sciences department is. Throughout my 4 years at Granite Bay High School, I've been lucky enough to take AP European History, AP US History, IB History of the Americas, and AP Government. These courses have taught me tremendous skills such as critical thinking and various forms of analyzing all kinds of materials. My analytical writing has also seen major improvement. As a graduating senior, I will be majoring in history at UC San Diego thanks to my experiences in Mr. Del Ordo's classes in particular. We all need to study history diligently so that it is not repeated. Molly MacDonald. So that's for Molly. She can't be here, but I just want to say in defense of the teacher at Granite Bay High School that we really appreciate all of our educators and Mr. Sloan. So thank you so much. Colleen, and then after Colleen is Melissa gets on.
Hello, my name is Colleen Jenkins, and I'm here in support of Granite Bay High School and its teachers. My daughter graduated from Granite Bay High School in 2021, and my son is currently a senior there. I cannot say enough about the outstanding supportive faculty there who have high standards and have provided an excellent education for both of my children. As a parent, my most important educational goal for my children has always been for them to develop the skills that will help them to be successful in college and in becoming contributing adults in our society. I want my children to be informed about current events, make connections between the past and the present, develop critical thinking, develop their own opinion and ideas, listen to other points of view, have debates and discussions, and be able to think for themselves. I want my children to realize that there's more out in the world than there is in just this Granite Bay Roseville bubble that we live in. In order to prepare our children to go out into the world, we need to keep educating, informing, and exposing them to different cultures, ideas, and perspectives so they can have all the information they need to become critical thinkers. I want to thank all the Granite Bay High School teachers who continue to strive to help prepare our children for the future. Thank you.
After Melissa gets out, we have Renee Weiss and then Jillian McKinney.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I would also like to thank Trustee Coleman for her thoughtful comments, as well as Mr. Del Orto for his very thoughtful comments and expressions. Just about every teacher, coach, and educational professional that I and my 3 children have encountered at Granite Bay High School have shown themselves to be respectful, caring, relatable, and compassionate. Have I agreed with everything they said or believed in? Of course not. However, I respect that they have made career commitments to care about my children, to want to see them open up their minds to critical thinking and to other points of view. Our children are very lucky to have these adult mentors at Granite Bay High School to learn from. The best thing we can do as parents is allow our kids to encounter all types of views from all kinds of people so that they can learn how to make decisions for themselves. Another very important lesson we should teach our children is not to air their differences, or criticisms of others on social media where messages can be misinterpreted or taken out of context. Let's dialogue, let's listen to each other, and let's be kind. Thank you very much.
Hi there, my name is Meg Weiss. I have had 3 students at Granite Bay High. I'm currently on my last one to go through. In that time, I've seen 3 principals, 50 teachers probably over the years is my guess. And there's some standouts in this room tonight. Mr. Sloan, obviously, Mr. Del Ordo is such an amazing teacher, and my daughter's former IB History of America is Jillian McKinney will be up next, so you'll get to hear from her. These teachers and many others are just passionate about education and passionate about their students. The lie that they're trying to indoctrinate our kids is, we're getting tired of hearing the narrative, and we just don't believe it to be true. I think most of the people who are here tonight are here to say we love our school, we love our teachers, and we really want to stop seeing the narrative that pits teachers and families against each other, because it's just not happening.
After Jillian, we have Bianca up next, and then Jenny Bruce.
Hello all, I also want to say congrats to all of the winners tonight because that was really a cool thing to watch. I'm here tonight to speak directly to the community, the district, the board of trustees, and most importantly, educators here and all around the nation. I am not only a parent of a GBHS student, but I taught at GB for 14 years. I left the profession abruptly in 2021, and honestly, I'm having a bit of deja vu, and it's pretty ugly. And I'm here today to speak because I think it's important for us to stand, and stand with educators, specifically who are going through what I went through. I was teaching critical skills, critical thinking skills, and culturally responsive curriculum for kids because I'm passionate, because I cared, and because I wanted them to leave my classroom better than they walked in. Every teacher that I have come into contact loves their kids. They do it because they love them, and they teach because of that. And unfortunately, what I was teaching was deemed controversial. And let me tell you, historically factual information is not controversial. It is necessary in more times now than it has ever been in the past. It's not about manipulation, it's not about brainwashing, it is allowing kids to think critically and understand about our nation in the way that they need to. And I want the record to show that I am here because I want to support all educators, and this community will not thrive if we do not stand together and support everyone. Thank you.
Bianca, Jenny, then Matt.
Hi, my name is Bianca. I am the mother of a sophomore. I also had an exchange student who was a senior a couple years ago, and I have an 8th grader. And I've been thrilled with all the teachers, not every situation, but the teachers have been amazing. I've seen my daughter grow in so many incredible ways. I'm really just here to support them. I'd like to give a special shout out to Ms. Gibbons in particular. My daughter's involved in Student Gov, and it's been a great experience for her, such that now my son, who's in 8th grade, is excited to join. Also, my daughter's been more of a science, we're more of a science family, and she recently was telling me that she's interested in history, which is news to me, so I credit that to Mr. Lundquist, because she's in AP world. And just as an aside, these teachers are so committed. my neighbor was hosting the Power Puff football for the seniors, and here are the teachers, they're celebrating on a Friday night to coach the girls, so it was just amazing. So thank you, I appreciate it, I really great updates.
Hi, my daughter is a junior at Grand Bay High School. We moved, my youngest daughter is over at Cabot, and she is looking forward to following in her sister's footsteps. And we moved to the area about 3 years ago, and I have been absolutely so pleased in the independent thinking and engagement that the educators at Granite Bay have nurtured and encouraged in my child and in all of the students, her friends and classmates. I appreciate everything that they do, their commitment to presenting and hearing everybody and all of, and in general just supporting our kids. They are so committed and they do such an amazing job, and I just want to say thank you to them.
And then I just have two more, Matthew Oliver and Tara Gia.
My kids are all weird.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the school board, educators, our community members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this evening. I too love Granite Bay High School, and as a local business owner, I've been honored to donate countless times to the school sports teams and organizations. I know that this evening we all have different beliefs and faiths, but I was asked to come here this evening and ask if we could take a moment of silence to honor two former Granite Bay High School students who passed away tragically this past week. If you would join with me. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Tara, you said you would line on this one?
Excuse me?
Oh, did you want to come up?
Yeah, because I don't know, do we come now or do we come later? I was just showing up because I guess you have to make a decision, in regards to my daughter.
Oh, closed session.
Yeah, so when I talked to Julie, I told her we were attending, and she said that I guess when you guys make your decision, we'll be able to talk or whatever. I don't know, so I'm just gonna say, when we get that.
So we started that proceeding at 5:45, and then we did have some more time at the beginning of this session.
And you guys started at 5:45, she told me to be here at 6:30? Wow.
We did
Your
open up
staff.
at 6:30 for any additional public comment from closed session.
Yeah. She told me Monday when I talked to her that, she said, be there. I said, I'll be there at 6, and she was like, oh no, 6:30.
Okay, are we able to grant the 90 seconds, is that fine? Yeah. Okay to go ahead and speak now, I just wanted to make sure that was okay to go on a different.
Well, so did you guys make the decision yet?
We did, yeah.
Okay. So if you make a decision, it's only for me to talk.
Only if you would like to.
Huh?
Only if you would like to, but yes, we did already vote on it in closed session at 5:45.
And then when will we know the decision?
We reported out that the board approved.
sorry. Yeah, so they came out at 6:30 when they started the meeting and did a vote at 6:30 when they came out of closed session.
Yeah, but that's something that she would tell me a wrong time to be here. Because we could have been here at that time for you guys to know who my daughter is and who I am and be able to present what, and not just that, what also happened in that meeting. So you had a person, I cannot believe, I just moved into this district and I mean, I'm from the East Coast and we moved into this district, but not cool at all. The things that is going on. Everybody side to side. You guys look at a piece of paper and whatever whatever on that paper, pass it along. And that's not good. That's not. And then for her to give me the wrong time to be here, I work for the Department of Corrections. So do you know what I had to go through to make sure that I was here? When I should have been on shift there? And then we waited. Let's go, baby. Mr. Superintendent, you're going to hear from me. Okay?
We did have one more item come in.
It's me. Ms. Williams. Ms. Williams, you can have my time.
She had time.
You can have, she can have
You're
my time.
disrupting our meeting.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but I put in a public comment. That's me. So, Ms. Williams, would you like to be my guest? You can have my time.
I'm here.
I know. Come here.
Yeah, she has.
Say what happened. She did, but I'm going to donate my time. Because I'm also a parent. And you guys should hear what she says, and you guys should be able to say to her what the action was, what the resolution is, and what the action is that she can take afterwards to have recourse. Ms. Williams.
My daughter hasn't even been to school since February 7th. And this is what month? And then they said they wanted her to go to one school that I didn't even know where it was. They said, if you're in this district, we can give you a bus pass for your child.
That costs money.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, I'm not in that area, but I'm in the district. You know, so I'm just saying, so what?
Who does she follow up with? Because they don't do back and forth here. It doesn't work like that. I'm leaving.
She'll receive documentation with all that information.
So she can repeal it or appeal it,
She'll have all of her due process provided to her.
due process, and then she can appeal it.
Dr. Dobson is out there. They've had an
We don't need
expulsion.
an officer right yet.
No, Dr. Dobson is our assistant super student services. There
And
was
she can talk to them?
there was an expulsion hearing already.
Yeah, right.
Then the
But before
board,
expulsion, I reached out to several people to talk to them and say, wait a minute, hold on. How did we get to this point right now? We just had a meeting for a behavior.
right, we can't have this in a public session, so I would ask you to talk with Dr. Dobson. She's waiting outside and she can provide the information you requested.
Okay, is that?
Dr. Dobson is a assistant, associate superintendent?
Assistant superintendent of student
But
services.
she's over Julie Winkler, huh? Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That, you see the paper, that's what they all go with. Nobody says, you know, let me look and, yeah, you know, yeah, something. But hey.
This is a parent telling you that the communication is a little tricky, and telling you guys that the students are having a hard time. Just sharing that back to you amongst all the other things you have going on. So good luck to you, and good luck to the two students and their families, because they have a GoFundMe, if you could look that up, please, because I know Mr. Oliver did not attend, or I believe he probably didn't attend the ceremonies last night. But there's a GoFundMe for those two families. And it's a horrible thing, and they're football players, and they should be recognized. Maybe in some environment like this. Good night. Let's go outside. We're gonna be friends.
All right, so we're moving along to our consent agenda, item 6.1.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second. All right, first.
Can I just make a comment on I'm not pulling it off, anything off the agenda, but one of the items that we're approving on the consent agenda is acceptance of donations to the Granite Bay Construction Tech Program. And I got to see that firsthand with Principal Sloan. It's amazing what they're doing. So I'm just happy it's completed for one more one.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve consent. We'll take a roll call vote on this one. Trustee Austin? going to public hearing, item 8.1, district contract proposals to RSEA. Do we need to open the public hearing? Public hearing is open.
So the purpose of this item is to allow comment on contract proposals to be negotiated between the district and RSEA for the 25-26 school year. And then once accepted, to refer that information for staff for contract negotiations. So staff has prepared the attached proposals, which if you look at them, in addition to Article 5 wages and Article 6 health benefits, the district would like to open up Article 8 leaves and Article 11 valuations. But we just want to take a look at our leave language, make sure that it is aligned with state law, as well as having the right updated definition of immediate family, as well as with evaluation. We want to be prepared for the rollout of the new California standards for the teaching profession in fall of 2026. So we want to start having conversations with RSEA regarding that. So at this point, it's time to open up for public hearing and see if we have any comments towards those proposals.
Anybody that would like to speak in this public hearing? Seeing none.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor of closing the public
There's no vote needed.
Oh, that's right, we're not on action matters. Okay.
And then 8.2, this is similar. This is RSCA sunshining the articles that they would like to discuss in addition to wages and health benefits. And they're requesting to open up Article 7, hours of employment, and Article 10, class size. I'm only assuming that they want to do that because they think that they haven't worked enough hours and their classes are too small.
Excuse me.
Like Mr. Colorado.
But if we can agree to a 10% raise, we'll drop those right now. Good, will be over, we'll finish up.
So anyway,
So hang on just a moment. We do have to take a vote to close the public hearing, even though there's no action. We open a public hearing and we have to formally close it. Then we move to the next item, open the public hearing, and then close it. So if we could go back to item 8.1 and restate my motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, Marla seconded, all those in favor of closing the public hearing?
Aye.
Okay, now we will open
Open
public hearing
for-
8.2.
Yes. And once again, looking at hours of employment and class size.
Any questions, comments on this public hearing?
Make a motion to close this public hearing.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to close the public hearing, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, public hearing closed, thank you, Brad. Okay, moving on to 9.1, board financing. Mr. Joe Nathan.
Okay, thank you. We got a quick little presentation. This is an information item, so there's going to be no action requested from the board. The way this works is we have the first information presented tonight, and at the very next board meeting, we'll have pretty much the same information. We'll be seeking action from the board. So I'm going to go over the first couple slides. I also have Chris Hyatt from Keegan, our financial advisor, who I'll have talk to you so you guys don't always hear from me. And you get to hear some of this information briefly about our SBID Measure A bond issuance. So I'll do this first slide and then hand it over to Chris. So in April of 2007, the SFID was formed and authorized the district to issue $115 million in general obligation bonds. Since then, we've had 4 issuances, and I wanted to try out my little, there's a thing if you look behind you, does it show on your screens too? Okay, so I just wanted to test that out, so I'm excited. Thank you to the tech guys for getting that for me. As you can see, the issuance we're looking, the remaining authorization we're going to be seeking is just south of $51 million. And so this is the information that we're presenting to the board today. So you see all the initial legal documents being presented, and they're in your packet and there for you for any questions tonight. And with that, I'm going to move the rest on to Chris, who can go over the rest with you guys.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for having me back tonight. So I'll start here on page 3 with assessed valuations. Whenever the district considers selling bonds, we have to make an assumption on where your tax base will be, not only next year, but over the course of the entire bond issuance, so up to 27 years from now. So to do that, we look back at your history. So on this slide, we have the history of assessed valuation growth within the SFID. The long-term averages are all very high, pretty uncommon for California school districts, but of course you are going through a lot of growth. So the average since 2009 is 15.6% per year, and in the last 5 years, 16.2%. So a lot of growth there, and you'll see on the later slide what growth we are assuming moving forward. Whenever we sell bonds, we also have to take a look at bonding capacity. This is a statutory limit on the amount of bonds that can be outstanding at any given point. Back in 2018, the district did apply for and was granted a waiver for your bonding capacity that allowed you to increase the statutory debt limit factor shown from 1.25% of your assessed valuation to 2.86%. With that waiver, we would be able to sell the remaining 51 million or so of Measure A bonds. This waiver does expire at the end of 2025, so by selling the bonds now, we can act under this waiver without any issues. So, for this final issuance of Measure A, we're looking at issuing the remaining 51 million or so. To do that, we would need to use about 57% current interest bonds, which are the type that pay interest semi-annually twice a year through the life of the bonds, and 43% capital appreciation bonds. That's the type of bond that doesn't pay any interest until maturity. So we have a mix of the two there, depending on where interest rates land. This is a 27-year issuance, as shown on the chart on the right-hand side. Current interest rates as of about 2 weeks ago was about 4.9%. The market, as I'm sure you're all aware, has been very volatile, so that number will fluctuate until the bonds are sold, at which point it would be locked in. And to get there, we're also assuming assessed valuation or tax-based growth of 15% for the next 6 years through 2031, and then 6% annually thereafter. So with all of that put together, the total cost for those bonds is about $134 million. So as was mentioned earlier, this is the first of 2 board meetings. Whenever capital appreciation bonds are sold, it does require 2 consecutive board meetings. So this item will be brought back to you on April 22nd for the actual approval of the legal documents that are in your packet tonight. From there, with your approval, we would work on getting an updated credit rating from Moody's, which is required whenever you sell bonds. From there, we would circulate one of the documents that's in your packet, which is called the preliminary official statement. It's like a prospectus for investors who are interested in purchasing your bonds. They have that for about a week, and then we sell the bonds and close about 2 weeks later in early July. Are there any questions on any of that material?
Question about that interest rate. When does it, in this process, does that kind of lock in?
Yeah, that would be when the bonds are actually sold, which is scheduled for early June. Because of the volatility we have seen some deals get pulled and then price a week later or so. So, we'll see what the market looks like on the scheduled date, and we'll do our best to time it when the market is most favorable.
Any other questions for her today?
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. 9.2, core textbooks, first reading.
Hi, good evening. So I think a few months ago I came for the first reading for our IB textbooks and explained that for our IB and our advanced placement courses, our AP courses, that we are under an obligation once we adopt those courses that we need to adhere to any course changes. And if there's course changes to a course, then we also need to make sure that our core adopted curriculum aligns with the new course. So that is also the case with AP Chemistry as well as AP Psychology. Those are both revised courses from College Board, and due to the longevity that we've had, the certain textbooks, we are beyond the 10-year minimum requirement. So therefore we're out of compliance for those textbooks in both the AP Chemistry and the AP Psychology courses in order to ensure that our students are adequately prepared for the AP exams. So I've been working closely with the AP Chemistry department staff as well as the AP Psychology staff beginning in January to review materials, identify the materials that they wanted to pilot, and then they brought forth a recommendation. So tonight is information only, it's just an open public hearing as well as public viewing for the next 30 days of the 2 materials that they have selected. Those materials have also been vetted out through their department as well as site council, our curriculum instruction leadership team, as well as our leadership and ed services team. So it's officially open, and I'm happy to answer any questions about the texts themselves.
Thank you, and if people do want to check the textbooks out, they would come here.
They're available, yes,
Right.
in our lobby. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then last but not least, 9.3, staff comments.
I'll just do one quick comment. I'm glad Rob used one of my favorite comments. Every time that we do the classified employees of the year, it's one of my favorite nights, and he used the word unsung heroes. So one of the reasons it's my favorite nights, and I just thought of this, unsung heroes, and for this one night, we actually get to sing and sing about them. So anyway, I'm singing. So is that funny by me? All right, thanks.
Any other staff comments over there? Okay. Then do you want any staff comments? I didn't mean to skip you, Dr. Dobson, we had staff comments if you had any. No, I was gonna skip over you and then you walked in and I just.
I had perfect timing, I'm not hearing you.
Okay. 10.1, pending agenda items, we'll, as we just heard, we'll have part 2 on that bond issuance, and then our special board meeting where the boundaries coming up, and you guys can take a look at what we have in the next couple months.
And for the boundary study, Joe will be sending you some fun literature from 2006. You already got it? Good. I just want to remind you that it's coming, and enjoy your reading.
We're excited. All right,